I am Dr. Pearl Garden. I am a reading specialist. I am a literacy coach, and I am an adjunct professor of teacher education. Today, I want to talk to you about what vocabulary instruction looks like in the early grades. As a literacy coach, I have had the opportunity to observe lots of classroom instruction, specifically classroom teachers of kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and third grade students. What I have found is that, yes, they are teaching children how to read. They are doing a little bit of vocabulary instruction, but what I think is important is that we make vocabulary instruction as big of a focus as teaching children to read. We can do this by not only working on phonics, but also working on our oral language, which is where they are learning to grasp more words. At the early grades, we're looking at bringing in a breadth of vocabulary knowledge. That means I'm going to give students lots of words. I'm going to read books with rich vocabulary and expose them to words they may not be familiar with. I'm going to talk to them using rich Tier 3 language, academic language in those subjects, math, science, social studies. So not only am I talking to them in the language of the standards, but I'm also telling them what those words mean. So I'm exposing them to more. Yes, and then I'm giving them the opportunity to talk about what they're hearing. I may come in on some of their peer-to-peer conversations and remind them of some of the words that we have learned, and try to get them to use them in their conversations. Not only am I reading books to them, but as I'm reading, I am thinking aloud how I understand the meaning of words that may not be familiar. I'm teaching them word learning strategies. I'm teaching them to use illustrations and pictures in the books to help understand the meaning of the words that they are learning, so that they can use these strategies independent. As students are gaining the knowledge of more words, as their mental backpacks are filled with more words that they can use in their vocabulary, I'm going to also teach them how to figure those words out for themselves, but I'm going to expose them to morphology, the study of meaningful word parts. I'm going to have them focus on prefixes and suffixes and how they can use those meaningful parts to understand what those words mean. So what does it look like? It looks like I'm talking to my students using rich vocabulary. It looks like I'm reading books to them that have rich vocabulary in them. It means I'm talking about the new words that we are learning. I'm giving them the opportunity to talk about those words as well and use those words in meaningful and authentic ways as much as I possibly can. I think that it is important that we do this because as students are exposed to increasingly challenging text as they matriculate through the grades, we want them to be able to not only use unfamiliar words, but figure out what those words mean and apply that knowledge of those words to rich and new words in order to be able to use them in their reading, their writing, their listening, their speaking, their thinking overall. I thank you for the time that you've given to listen to me. I'm looking forward to chatting with you again soon. Thank you.